Welcome back to Orangeline. With the resignation of former head tennis coach Rick Walsh, the doors have opened for two Baker faithfuls. I took a closer look. Associate Professor of Political Science Bruce Anderson has taken over the men's tennis program for the spring season as the interim head coach. Anderson was previously an assistant coach for the tennis program as he enters his third season with the Cats. He says he's enjoyed his experience with the men so far.
Very positive. They have been just the most cooperative, hardest working guys that I've ever worked with. And this is a nice group of kids. This is a really nice team.
Former Baker tennis player Kelsey Stephens will take the reins for the Lady Cats this spring as the interim women's head coach. Stephens is a former Baker graduate and was an assistant coach for the program this past fall. Stephens says the job has called for more work than she may have expected, but has enjoyed the responsibilities so far.
It's been fun, a little different than what I expected. It's a lot more to it than I thought, I guess. It's a lot more busy work going on.
For Anderson, this experience is not as new to him as for Stephens. Anderson is a former head coach for the men and women's tennis programs at Hastings College for 4 years and at St. Cecilia's School's women's team while in Hastings.
Frankly, it hasn't been a terrific adjustment, largely because of the division of tasks and things that we had the last time. We've had a lot of help from Dan Harris and Teresa Yatmar in getting our budget pulled together and those kinds of things. But as far as on-court stuff with the kids, stuff with the players, it's really not been that much different.
Stephens, on the other hand, may not have as much coaching experience, but her experience as a player and relationship with Anderson looks to guide her through the season.
I love working with Bruce. When I played here, he was like the coach that I always wanted on my court. You know, he's very calm and easy to talk to. Whenever it was a close match for me, he was the one that always calmed me down and made me think about, you know, what I need to think about. So now working with him on the other side, it means pretty much the same thing. I feel a lot more close to him now. He's a good friend and someone I can trust, and I definitely go to for advice with coaching and stuff.
Anderson believes Stephens' professional qualities and leadership skills will be key to lead the women's program in the right direction this year.
Well, Kelsey and I have worked together for a good long time. She played for Baker when I was assistant primarily on the women's side, and so I knew Kelsey from then. But Kelsey has always been a very mature, very professional kind of a person on the court as a player and now as a coach. And she's a dream to work with. She's an excellent coach, and she's had 13 women that she's had to deal with over there this spring, and that's tough. So survival, I think, is an indication of her abilities.
Sophomore Allie Stephens enters her second year on the women's team. However, this year she will not be accompanied by her older sister, Kelsey, rather coached by her. Kelsey says she's enjoyed coaching Allie so far.
Everyone's like, oh, you're probably too hard on her, but, you know, she's a pretty good girl, so I don't have to be too mean with her. She listens, and we get along great, and she's a captain this year, so she has a lot of good advice. You know, it's fun. We'll see. Ask me again at the end of the season. We'll see what I say then.
Both the men and women begin their spring seasons this Saturday, February 28th, against Cali County Community College. Game times are set for 1 p.m.
Next, Justin Hauser has an update on how intramurals are going.
Intramural sports are on nearly every college campus across the United States. Here at Baker, we are no exception. Everyone can participate in intramurals unless you play that sport for the school's varsity program. Some people are intramurals veterans. Cody Canover is one of those athletes, but due to injury, he is forced to become a spectator this year. Here is Cody with his views as a spectator.
It's really rough, you know, having to sit out and watch your friends play just sucks.
Students play intramurals for different reasons. Some students play for something to do, others for the competitiveness of the sport that they once ruled back in the day. Players enjoy the competition as well as the camaraderie. Other students have ulterior motives when signing up for intramurals extravaganzas.
Just for the ladies, you know, they dig it when they see a cat that can play many sports. So, you know, I play football, but you know, on the side, I like to say, hey, I can play some ball too. I can play some b-ball. That's mainly why I play intramurals. Play a little bit of softball as well. Aztecs are going for their second national championship this year, so hopefully we'll get it.
Although basketball is winding down, there are other intramural sports coming up. Volleyball will start playing games March 1st. Make sure to sign up before the deadline if you are wanting to play. This has been Justin Hauser, KNBU-TV.
Thanks for that, Justin. Stay tuned. We'll be back after this quick commercial break.
Welcome back to Orangeline. It's now for a little bit of sports chat. Alex Dingman.
Chris Smith.
And let's begin things with basketball. And we'll begin with the men coming off a tough loss to Missouri Valley. Their second loss to Mo Valley this season by 14 points, 77-63 on their home floor. And now things looking very interesting there at the bottom of the HAC standings, with them and Mo Valley tied now at 6 and 12 at the 8th spot. So those two games remaining against Mid-America and Graceland are going to be very important. Malcolm Greer, a guy that's got to keep it going. He's had, 17, and now 16 in his last 3 games. He's really turned out to be that number 1 option. But the guard plays got to knock down a little bit more threes. 3 of 11 in the second half, not going to get it done. And Justin Hauser's got to establish himself a little bit more, 10.7 rebounds. Unfortunately for him, he's really the only true post threat for the team, but they're going to need him here. But, this Baker team, like we've talked about the entire season, if they get those threes down and continue to shoot well at the free throw line, they can beat anybody. But they got to get into that HAC tournament first, and it begins with Mid-America on Thursday and then finishes with Graceland on Saturday.
Mid-America always a tough squad, too.
Most definitely. What about the women? It looks like they're got a legitimate lock there for the tournament.
Yeah, women are locked in. Women are going to the playoffs. They're 14-14 overall. They're 1 behind Lindenwood right now in the conference standings. But given that head-to-head win over Lindenwood, it looks like they're going to nab that 6th spot going in, which is good. They've got identical records right now. As far as the rest of the conference bracket, it's really a virtual unknown. 2 games left for everybody. 3 teams tied at the top of the conference with identical HAC records. So that will be interesting as we go down the stretch. But women coming off, like you said, great performance against Missouri Valley. 91-74 was that final score. First half, Lauren Shuffleberger show. She ended up with 23 on the night, hit 2 threes early, really got the ball rolling for the Wildcats. Susan Decker called it the most effective performance offensively that they've had all season, which was fantastic for them. Caitlin Shaniden, big surprise there. She dropped 16. She was very hot on the step-back 3 in the second half, and then get that inside-out game working. They had to respect the 3, so able to pound it down to Aubrey Gustin, and she also nabbed 17 points in that game. So congratulations to them. Again, they play Thursday, but obviously, results will not be available for press time, so the next game for both the men and the women will be Saturday at Graceland right here at Collins Center. Make sure you go check them out.
91 points, not a bad way to bounce back after scoring only 44 against William Jewell.
Certainly.
Baseball now underway. The team going 1-2 against St. Mary's this weekend. Not exactly the weekend that they would have liked, but Vidal Nuno, the ace, had a good game, 6 innings, just a couple earned runs. They did win a game on Sunday, 7-6 down there in Leavenworth. Annie Hannon actually with a home run, 3 hits, and then Chad Griffin, a guy that's going to be a big player for the Baker Wildcats this season with 3 RBIs in that one. In the second game, however, only 2 hits. Chris Cummings, though, a good job as the starting pitcher with only 2 earned runs. So it looks like the team can pitch, but is that offense going to be there to really back it up? And we'll see as they play on Saturday against Park at 1 o'clock.
Right, just got to get those bats going. Softball, much of the same, much improved team since last year. There's no doubt about that. Started the season this weekend against Division II foe Pitt State, who they knew that they could hit coming in. So they lost 11-3 in the first game and then 5-1 in the second game. But the softball team said they're really making a lot of progress. Kelsey Epperson, our very own KNBU girl, 2 for 4 in the second game. Brooke Allen went 2 for 3. Katie Worley had an RBI in her first at-bat, and both pitchers threw pretty well, Aaron Ford and Amanda Phelps. So some positive things certainly to be taken from this weekend. Their next game will be on March 3rd, against Haskell Indian Nations.
Awesome. And the track teams having their HAC Conference Championship this past weekend. The men not pretty much faring as well as they would like. They are finishing in 6th place. Some individual performances. Brian Korn had 3rd in the shot, 3rd in the weight, but just 6th place as a team. They did have the 4x400 team come in 2nd, but not as strong as performance as they would have liked after getting, I believe, 3rd in the outdoor last year. But hopefully they can bounce back. I know they had some injury problems and things of that nature, and just a very young team, so we'll see if maybe they can turn that around for the outdoor. However, the women not having the same kind of struggles, finishing in 3rd place, Ashley Miller, ridiculous, 2nd in the high jump, but 1st in the 55-meter dash, 1st in the 200, 2nd in the 55 hurdles as well, and that 4x400 team got 2nd place, so she's absolutely tearing it up. I know that you talked about her in the paper last week and Mount Rushmore and everything, but Ashley Miller, quite the stud there on the track team. Lanisha Douglas got 3rd in the 55, Katie Wegemer 2nd in the 600, Chelsea Ornburn got 1st in the pole vault. Congratulations to her. Reagan Boyer 3rd in the pentathlon, a very tough event. So third as a team were the Baker women in track. So that's got to be exciting going into outdoor. And as a former track athlete myself, I can tell you that obviously outdoor is what you look forward to after indoor. So it's a little bit of a struggle, but overall good performance.
Well, especially at a school like Baker, where we don't have the facilities that some of the other HAC schools do for for training and track. This is essentially a warm-up season for the spring, where it looks like we will dominate again. Coach Kindler's got a great squad.
Well, we got exciting sports coming up this week with the basketball team struggling there to get into the postseason tournament. Baseball and softball underway, and so we will be back next week. But for now, back to you.
Thanks for that, guys. That concludes this week's show of Orangeline. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm Kelsey Epperson.
And I'm Matt Quant. Stay tuned in next week.